I sat down to record this episode, feeling very grounded and calm, which lasted about 11 seconds. Welcome to Still Finding My Voice. I'm really glad you're here, truly. Whether you found this podcast intentionally, accidentally, or because you clicked something while holding coffee and thought, sure, why not? I don't believe you're here by mistake. Before we go any further, there's something important I want you to know. This podcast didn't come from anywhere. For a long time, I felt something stirring inside, a desire to speak, to reflect, to create space for meaningful conversation. I didn't always know what form that would take. I just knew it wasn't another place to hustle, perform, or pretend we have it all figured out because definitely, let's be honest, none of us do. Eventually, the idea of a podcast stopped feeling like a question and started feeling like an invitation. And when I finally said yes, I realized something else. I didn't arrive here alone. I was a professional dancer for 23 years, and dance gave me discipline, expression, joy, humor. It taught me how to listen before speaking, how to feel what was happening underneath the surface. I didn't need words. My body already knew how to tell the truth. And honestly, that worked really, really well until it didn't. Because bodies change, motherhood changes them, time changes them. And sometimes the very thing that carried you through one season can't carry you through the next. I used to communicate everything through movement. Now I sometimes joke that my body and I are on ongoing negotiations. Terms are still being discussed. After giving birth, things shifted in ways I didn't expect. My voice grew quieter, weaker, unfamiliar, and it wasn't just physical, it was emotional. I didn't recognize myself. There's a specific kind of grief that comes from losing something you didn't know you could lose, especially when no one warned you it was even possible. And for a long time, I thought I was alone in that. In my faith, there's language for seasons, deserts, waiting, wilderness. But even if faith isn't part of your life, you probably know that feeling, the in between, the not yet, the quiet that feels both empty and full at the same time. I've had a traumatic upbringing. That's part of my story, but it's not the whole story. And I want to say this clearly. Just because you've lived through hard things doesn't mean joy isn't real or allowed. For me, healing hasn't been about erasing the past. It's been about learning how to sit with myself honestly. Sometimes that looks like prayer. Sometimes that looks like stillness. Sometimes it looked like breathe, movement, or just being quiet long enough to remember, I'm still here. And sometimes, thankfully, it looks like laughter. Not loud laughter, more like a soft, knowing chuckle that says, okay, this is strange, but I'm still me. I'm still finding my voice. Not the old one, not the dancer's voice, not the voice I had before motherhood. This one is slower, quieter, more intentional. But sometimes it catches me by surprise. Like going to order food just to a restaurant. People do it all the time. It's not a big deal. It's part of the fun of going to a restaurant. But when your voice changes without you understanding why, it can be surprising. It can be embarrassing, humiliating. To order and your voice cracks and being asked to, huh? Can you repeat that? It's really a difficult process. but I've learned how to embrace it. As difficult as it is, I know that there's joy on the other side of just doing the thing that I want to do. In my faith, I've learned that I don't need perfect words to be held. And if faith isn't your language, maybe you felt the same kind of grounding through music, nature, creativity, or simply just being present. I think we're all reaching for the same thing: belonging, meaning, the courage to show up as we are, not as we were. That's where still finding my voice comes into play for me, because it's a process. I haven't arrived. I'm working towards finding my voice. This is episode 1. You are joining me on my very first episode. I am so excited. I'm excited for you. I'm excited for me. And together, we can walk this out step by step. Nothing requires perfection here. Just being intentional and being present. Throughout the rest of the podcast, I will be referring to my voice method and go over how that's helped me accomplish the progress that I have experienced over the last year. And I hope you'll join me. I'm so grateful you're here. And if anything resonated with you about this podcast, can you please grab your glasses and hit share, hit like, hit subscribe, all of those things? Because guess what? If you do that now, it'll just automatically show up and you'll get to hear all the episodes. You know, we're all men and women of a certain age, and we deserve automation. Periodically, you'll hear me refer to heavy situations, or after I've gone through a situation that was a little more challenging than I'd hoped. With my past dance experience, you'll hear me say, let's just do a high kick. Well, I'd love for you to join me to do a high kick, but when I say that, I don't mean right now. I mean stretch first. We have to stretch out our muscles because our bodies are changing. All I could do is laugh because my body's different than it used to be. But hey, I'm okay with that. I can accept change. Change is good. Please stretch and then do your high kick. And then we could do it together. 1, 2, 3. Let's do a high kick. So anyway, I'm really grateful you joined me. I truly am. This podcast is a space where we tell the truth gently, where humor is welcome, but never forced, where faith may appear, but never dominate the room, and when becoming is honored more than arriving. If any part of this episode felt familiar, you're not behind, you're becoming. I'm still finding my voice, and I'm really glad you're here with me.